and welcome to my end of year book tag video. This is the first time I've taken part in the end of year book tag because I didn't realise that it existed last year. So I'm just going to run you through a few kind of end of year things, wrapping up a bit of reading stuff. This tag was originally made by Ariel Bissett, so I will link her channel down in the description. I'll be surprised if you haven't heard of her because she's a big booktube name. So it's fun to be taking part in something that she made. So let's just get on with it. So the first prompt is, are there any books that you still need to try and finish before the end of the year? And the answer to that is yes, there are quite a few. So I've got a whole stack here that are ones that we're like in the middle of that we need to finish. And I've also got one on my Kindle as well, which is A Grim Legacy by Janet Jennings. I'm halfway through that. That's part of my TBR for November. We're also about 50 pages into A Princess of Mars by Edgar Rice Burroughs, and we've got a big bind up of the first 5 books in this series out of the library, and it's going to be due back soon, so we're vaguely making an effort to read this before then. I'm reading Rose Interrupted by Patrice Lawrence, which is also a library book, also going to be due back fairly soon, just over a quarter of the way through that one. We're reading A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas, which I should have finished last month because I'm doing A Court of Thorns and Roses read along called A Coat Along, and I'm now a month behind my own read along because I can't read to schedules and it's going terribly. But we're about halfway through this one now, which is great because it's halfway through November, so I should be halfway through Court of Mist and Fury, but we'll see if we can catch up on that one. We need to finish Metamorphosis and Other Stories by Franz Kafka, in which we have only read Metamorphosis, so we need to read the other stories. We'd also like to finish How to Be Champion by Sarah Millican. We were diving into this one over the summer when we were in a bit of a slump, and I think we got about halfway through, but one of the babies tore our bookmark out of it, so we have no idea where we are. So this one's going to be fun to try and finish. And I also need to finish off Blood Air by Amelie Wan Zhao, which I am reading for my November TBR, and I'm halfway through and absolutely loving it so far, which is great. Also, gorgeous Illumicrate edition with the spray and the blood, and I love it. So that is quite a few books that we need to finish by the end of the year, but based on the fact that we're halfway through most of them, should be possible. Feeling optimistic. The next prompt is, do you have a transitional book, which is a book that you read to get you from summer into autumn or autumn into winter? It's some kind of transitioning book, and for that one I've picked Red Rising by Pierce Brown. If you know me at all, you'll know that this is my favourite book of all time, and the reason that I'm picking this for my transitional book is, number one, it's one of the only books I reread, so it's a book that I associate very strongly with like the end of the year, because the newest book in the Red Rising series would always kind of come out in the January, so I'd be rereading this one in November or December, preparing for the next release. And the first time I read it was in November as well, so it's definitely one that I associate with like the wintry months and the autumn time of year with like the rain outside and a big old snuggly blanket. So this has to be my pick for that one. So prompt number 3 is there a new release that you are still waiting for? And to that I have a big fat yes, because I've got my pre-order for Ready Player 2 by Ernest Cline coming very, very soon, and I'm very excited. So Ready Player 2 is the sequel to Ready Player 1 by Ernest Cline, and if you haven't heard of it, I don't know where you've been, because it's had a film adaptation and it was one of the biggest releases the year it came out. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do with the sequel, because this was a very unexpected announcement and it was a standalone for many years, happily. So it'll be interesting to see what will become of this world, become of this story. Like, it's going to be really fun to find out. The next prompt is, what 3 books would you like to read before the end of the year? And for this one, I'm picking 3 books that will continue series that we are in the middle of. So we're hoping to read The Shadow Rising by Robert Jordan, which is the 4th book in the Wheel of Time series. Hoping to read The Wastelands by Stephen King, which is the 3rd book in the Dark Tower series. And hoping to read The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien, which is the final book in the Lord of the Rings series. I'm planning on reading more complete series and finishing more series off as and when I can, and these ones are good ones to start with, especially The Shadow Rising, because we loved the first 3 books in the Wheel of Time series and we haven't had a chance to carry on with it, so I'm looking forward to getting the ball rolling on that one again. Whether we'll be able to fit them in before the end of the year remains to be seen, because they are quite chunky, but ideally December will be a month of series continuations. The next prompt is, are there any books that you think that you're going to read that could still become your favourite book of the year? And to that one, I've chosen The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. So the third book in this series, The Burning God, is coming out within the next couple of weeks. And I've got my fancy schmancy Illumicrate editions of these coming very soon. And I'm looking forward to getting them here because they're gorgeous. And I can't wait to open them up and see them because, wow, like the artwork on these is just absolutely superb. I've heard amazing things about the Poppy War series, but I've been putting off starting it because I want to be able to binge the series and read them all at once. So now that The Burning God is so close to being released, it's time for me to finally pick up the first book, and I think there's a very good chance that this could end up becoming one of my favourite books of the year. I've read some absolutely stellar books in 2020, and I've definitely found some new favourites this year, and I'm hoping that The Poppy War is going to end up being one of those. And the last prompt is, have you started planning any of your reading for 2021 yet? And I haven't actively. I've got some ideas of things I'd like to do. I've got my 25 before 25 list that I'd ideally like to get finished off, which is just 25 books I want to read before I turn 25. I think I've currently read either 4 or 5 of them, so that's not good odds considering I've only got like 4 or 5 months left. But we'll see how that goes. I'd also like to, as I said, carry on with series and finish some more series off, because at the beginning of the year we were doing very well with reading complete trilogies each month, and I'd like to get that ball rolling again. Finishing the Dark Shade of Magic series, actually catching up with a Coat Along would be good. But yeah, so it's looking at a diverse reading year next year. Some more middle grade. Hopefully reading some more classics as well, because that's always something I aim to do and something I never end up actually doing. But I'm looking forward to 2021. 2020 has been a much more successful reading year than we were expecting because of all of the lockdowns. So I'm not going to be reading as many books next year, but I'm hoping that I'm going to be reading better books overall. Hopefully a lot more kind of 5 and 4 stars, because I've read quite a lot of 1 stars this year, which isn't ideal. And that's it for my end of year book tag. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment down below letting me know what books you're hoping to finish by the end of the year, what kind of books that you're hoping to read next month, or if you've already posted your own end of year book tag video and you'd like to share it, then feel free to link it and I'll be happy to watch those, because I think these are a really fun way of just checking in with your reading and giving yourself some challenges for the next few weeks and months. So I'll see you again soon. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to, I'd be eternally grateful. And I'll see you next time with another one. Bye!
Right, so, let Alyce know, I actually have a TBR game plan, which is going to be Duck Hunt. Hook the Duck. That's in the mail to be made. So, all of her, I want to finish all these books by the end of the year, like these ones and everything. They're going to go all out the window because we have a lovely new TBR game. And also, this is Ezra. He's our newest one. And yeah, if you want to know more, follow me on Twitter at Sean Can't Read, or Instagram at Sean Can't Read. I'll link them below, so you can get the heads up before she does, because she's not going to watch this to the end of this video. Well, she might. Now she knows that I'm doing this, and I've sent her upstairs. Yeah. Alright. Remember to subscribe and like and comment below. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, mummy. You're going to look at the camera.